Welcome back to Wall Street and Web3. That torch Spartan over there is HHTrader. I'm Frame. H, what's going on this week in the stock market?
Man, it was a whole lot of silence. I think a lot of people were on their hands waiting on the jobs report. Especially towards the end of the week. I don't know, it was almost like just dead. Just really there were some things popping, but they always Chinese companies and always if there's a dead space, they'll fill it, with noodles or something. But yeah, this week was kind of hard for me. I only ended up getting to get active in the market one day, and then the rest of it was just dead. And I was like, man, 3 days of no trading. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, speaking of jobs reports that come back better than expected, 185,000 jobs in December versus 170K added. That's what they expected.
Mm-hmm.
And it also got some wage growth slowing down to 3.8%, which is what the Fed wanted. Hiring is strong, but inflation causing wage spirals are cooling. So wages are kind of, I guess, according to the Fed, starting to catch back up.
Did you hear about the silent hiring?
No, I've not heard that term. Was that?
So basically, these folks that were in IT or in these high powered jobs getting paid like 500, 600, 700, $800,000 a year, they got fired, but the companies are giving them a chance to get rehired at lower rates. So it's not a complete loss because their skill set is still usable. It's just in the market right now with AI and all of that, it's like, why are we paying you $80 an hour when half of your or more than half of your work is done by AI?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a lot of what we're going to see, shifts in value of time and all that, and like pay, like not only in wages but across everything, because AI is making all of these just astronomical fast changes that we've never seen before. So our money systems are slowly catching up.
Yep.
Still got ways to go.
So speaking of wages and things like that, this recent whole debacle, or not debacle, but event of the Venezuelan and the BRICS and all this stuff, we've been seeing oil prices come down, and I'm wondering, with the barrels that Trump is negotiating to get from Venezuela, I think it was like 50 million barrels. He's getting a bunch of oil from Venezuela, basically.
Well, they already got a bunch. They took a bunch with the ships and all that stuff.
Yeah,
they brought
and he's
a bunch
getting
back.
even more.
Yeah. The reporter asked him what he was going to do with it, and he said, "We're going to keep it. We'll probably keep it. Maybe we'll sell some. Maybe we'll keep
our
it
kneecaps.
All our kneecaps." Bro, they're getting ready for the biggest Diddy party. They're getting ready for the Diddy release party when he gets out of jail. Could you imagine Trump pardons Diddy and then they have a giant oil party? Oh my goodness. That's the headline and title of the video right there.
Yeah, so we're going to see. I want to see how oil shapes out, because energy has been a very hot sector in the last couple of weeks. The AI infrastructure and all that. And that's one of the things that was at the top of this week, AI infrastructure and nuclear. Meta had signed with a company called Oklo, or the ticker symbol I remember was OKLO. And it's utilities / nuclear type deal for a data center. So, I mean, nuclear may be coming back into play. For the longest time, I think like years ago, we really was harping on uranium and all that stuff, but might be coming alive.
I like I said back then, I think you were dead on with uranium. I think it's been underpriced because it's not actually that expensive per ounce or whatever it's measured in. But the expensive part is to hold the uranium. You can't just have you just can't put uranium in your little coin collection and be like, all right, I'm cool. You can't do it that way. But as the demand starts to skyrocket, because I think that I saw something recently, there was already some type of new nuclear reactor that some country had put up that everybody was excited to see how that went. So I think we're going to get there. Unless we discover something better than uranium. I mean, what is our other options?
I mean,
we're going to
beyond
run out of oil
nuclear,
at some point.
I'm pretty sure if there was something better than nuclear, we would have already heard about somebody trying to make a weapon of it.
Well,
they try to weaponize everything that comes out new.
That's true.
You gave them water and they made a hydrogen bomb.
What's really crazy about that, water can already kill you. If you're drowned in water, like they just made water more deadly. They made water super deadly. They can kill whole cities with water. Just water, something you think was not that deadly, but it is. Man, that's crazy. I never thought of that like that. Hydrogen bomb. That was a mad scientist. He's like, how can I just kill everybody with one water balloon? We just got to stick some uranium in that water balloon, make all that water explode and radiate. Yeah, it's not good, man. The war stuff there's a lot of war stuff going on right now, and that tech side we've talked about it already is crazy. But NVIDIA has announced their Thor chip, shipping it to all their automotive partners in the EV section. So maybe this Thor chip brings a big advancement into the EV market.
I've been looking at a couple of things, and I know we went over some of the stock stuff, but on the crypto side, have you heard about Wyoming getting a state-backed stablecoin?
Yep.
That's insane. I wonder, is each state going to try to do that now? Like,
well, I don't know. Wyoming is always a real crazy state. They do a lot of things, but yeah, the token is FRNT.
On Solana.
Oh, they launched it on Solana?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but it's a stable coin, so it's not like you're buying something that can go
crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Let's see. I got the full article here from OpenSea about the Wyoming.
Wouldn't it be crazy? Like if you cross state lines, you have a different crypto coin that you need to transfer it to shop in that state.
Well, hey, think about it. You have to swap to it, so that them states would share in the swap fees. Makes perfect sense. Taxes would be seamless. It'll be on blockchain. Yeah, it's not great. the early days of the blockchain decentralizing everything and everybody being free and butterflies and rainbows. I got news for a lot of you.
Yeah. Coinbase is the way.
Well, actually, while we're talking about it, we just found out that if you use the Coinbase app, you can unstake your Atom and some other cryptos with no lockup period. And traditionally, you'd have to wait 25 days for that money to unlock, but that little feature, it's not on the desktop version, or at least we couldn't find it. Did you ever find it?
No, not on the desktop.
Yeah, it's only on the browser. Yeah, it's only on the mobile app. So check that out if you are staking crypto. While I'm looking for this, Morgan Stanley has filed for a Bitcoin and Solana ETF. So they're getting in the crypto game. It's another big financial name. Walmart is accepting Bitcoin payments at checkout. They have a new system called One Pay Cash. This option lets customers use Bitcoin and without needing to interact directly with crypto exchanges or separate wallets. This is how it's going to be, man. Walmart has not shared details on rollout timing, fees, or transaction limits. But yeah, you're going to be able to use Bitcoin at Walmart. And let's see, here's the Wyoming whole article about this. So they're the first state to issue a stablecoin token in the U.S., making it available to the public under the oversight of the Wyoming Stable Token Commission. they have a stable coin commission in Wyoming. Dude, I might move to Wyoming, man. They're real crazy. A stable token. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I was gonna say. It's not a token that will go up or down in price. It may fluctuate a tiny fraction, but it's going to be backed off of something. I'm assuming the dollar, like most stable coins are. So it's just going to be around $1. So buying it's not going to be like a crazy long-term investment. Um, the only thing I can really think of where you're getting in early with stable coins is like we're talking about. If all these states and businesses start just doing their own tokens and then you got to swap all the time for fees, and that's the taxes you're paying is in the swaps, then maybe you're getting in early where you're not going to have to pay a bunch of fees to actually change your money into these stable coins later on. That makes any
Gotcha.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're we're to the point where, I mean, with all these changes we're making all around the U.S., I'm just like, are we're getting to the point where there is some light and darkness at the end of the tunnel. One, for the dark side or the light side, maybe we'll get tax reductions. Maybe we'll get some very strong income back on uh, tax refunds and things like that. But on the dark side, if that doesn't happen and taxes continue to go up, and let's say states do get into the whole crypto, each state has its own crypto, what will that be? What kind of compliance level would they have with that? Because with crypto, all you got to do is know the developer and be like, hey, we want to raise the rates to the fees on the gas to X, Y, and Z, and it's like, oh boy, and now you got
Mm-hmm.
developers getting bought off.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's a light in the darkness there.
You just gonna want to be in the states and countries that are like Wyoming and real friendly about it, not the ones that are being real sneaky about it and not telling
Yeah,
everybody they're doing it. Because
yeah.
I'm sure there's several states already doing this. They're just not telling everybody yet. They're gonna just kind of slide it in. You'll be like, wake up one day and your credit card will still work, but hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you're ready for a new episode every Sunday. Credit card will still work, but you'll pay a crypto fee directly to the state and then the company because you can separate payments out to different wallets. I mean, it's gonna make the system so much easier. It's gonna make it so much easier for them to do crazy things.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross, but
I'm,
but real quick before we move on from here, it is on Solana and Avalanche, both networks is running that stable coin. Oh, and then JP Morgan plans to issue its JPMD deposit token directly on the Canon network. I've never heard of that blockchain, but I have to look into it. JP Morgan's looking into it. But they're expected to roll it out sometime this year. It's a digital version of regular bank deposits. Yeah, so each JPMD token represents $1 held at JP Morgan and can move on blockchain instead of traditional bank payment systems. Yeah, so kind of another stable coin. So that's again another big company fitting into what we're just talking about.
yeah, yeah.
All the payment systems are going to it. All the POSs, everything.
Of course, this is January. We're about to go into the deadliest part of the year, which is earnings season.
Yep.
So a lot of people get chewed up. In my experience, December and January have been the worst trading months for me, except for this year because I kind of changed some things. But December and January, you just cannot come in with the same, because the focus is it can be anywhere. It can be anywhere at any time and a lot or a little at any time.
Yeah.
Like Nvidia comes out with something and or you have your scanners full of large caps that are just going crazy, and then another day where the small caps that are connected in some way or on sentiment blowing up the roof without any catalyst. It's going to be a wild earnings seasons this year. So yeah, and I kind of want to see January 26th. They should be opening back up the discussion for the healthcare that we've been talking about a couple of weeks. But I think healthcare stocks, and I know the ones that are in my portfolio have been getting a little bit of help here at the beginning of January. So I buy the lows. I just see them come out the lows and get in there and see what they're going to do. But a lot of these healthcare, the real estate, healthcare devices, and all of those are kind of seeing some upticks. But I want to see what happens. What's the final decision on, will we stay with Obamacare or will we go on to something new?
Do hospital networks start dropping their own tokens? That's got me thinking about where this is going to fit in healthcare. You can't escape those hospital bills now if they're taking it directly out of your account through crypto.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
I don't know. I got into a crypto called Bio, and Bio actually it's like a chain for researchers and like biologists and all these database or whatever. It's just research on the chain. But I just like the idea of the project. One, I just don't really like meme coins. I really want to focus, especially as this is the beginning of crypto, to get into some things that can actually have real world effects,
Right.
that people can share data very quickly on this chain. And I mean, it's just like, it just, I'm not even worried about if it'll do anything. I'm just like, I just want to be in place. Let me get a couple of those, just for the future, because they are working hard. And plus, you never know who's going to join it. So if
Right.
this is a whole research blockchain, you got biotechs, you got biopharmaceuticals, you have all these IT firms. I mean, anybody doing research, bam, you got a blockchain, and this doesn't have to be the only one. Let's say if multiple of these biotypes come out, what if they make an ETF of it? And they
True.
collect all of them together, and this is like a research crypto ETF.
Well, that's what I was
So,
going to say.
yep,
They're researchers, so they're going to be getting funding. So if they're all
yep,
their research is on blockchain,
yep,
then that'll be a blockchain that's getting a lot of funding into it.
yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's a smart play. They're looking at that's another blockchain I gotta look at.
Well, the coin is bio, but yeah, it's yeah, you can look into the chain behind it. Another thing that's coming out this week is CPI news on January 13th.
Ooh.
CPI, and every day CPI comes, it's like people just clench up. They just oh, jobs reports, and job reports really wasn't that much until this election or after this administration got in, because I
Yeah,
think a lot of it was fudging the numbers.
yeah,
In previous administrations, it was a lot of like, oh yeah, we're getting 300,000. We're getting,
yeah,
it's like, where are these jobs at? They're not on
yeah,
LinkedIn. They're ghost
yeah.
jobs. But then as
Ghost
soon as we
jobs.
get
Yeah,
this administration in, it's like, nah, we're getting 54,000. Regular, like normal numbers, not like 500,000. Where are those jobs created? They're not janitors. They're
yeah,
not what, so I don't know.
yeah. Walmart's checkout has shrunk smaller and smaller. They've got way less
Mm-hmm.
employees in the front there now. They got a bunch
Yep.
of computers that you just scan through now.
Yep.
I wonder if it's gonna get to the point to where you just go get all your groceries and you just walk out the door, and as you're walking out the door, it just scans your credit card or whatever.
Well, I think what's going to end up happening is there will be no reason to have a store that people visit. I
That's
think
true.
there's going to be storage facilities that get deliveries. Robots go out there, you do your order online or whatnot. Robots have your order, they go get it, bring you your food to your house. And I think a lot more people are going to end up, especially with the institutions getting out of the percentage of the housing that they're trying to push them out of, because maybe this is a start to something bigger where maybe they start giving back even more percentage of housing, and housing prices actually are
Drop.
able to be a little bit more controlled by normal people.
Yeah.
And so I think with people having access to maybe purchase more houses, maybe they'll look at having more like family neighborhoods. You know how it used to be like a whole family had a neighborhood? It's like you go on this street and everybody on that street is a family.
Yep.
I think it's where it's gonna kind of go back to.
Yep. They're gonna. Uh, if I had the option though between robots getting my food and a robot just making my food, a lot of people are probably gonna do that. They're gonna have like chef robots in their house. They don't even need
True.
to go out and get food anymore.
Yeah.
That robot can go to the store for you and come back and have
That,
the meal ready and done.
that sounds like Elon's dream. Remember, cut out
Yeah.
all, you make work irrelevant. Where you can just wake up, do what you love to do, create what you would want to create or whatever, and the robots carry the burden. The only thing is, you need to be technical enough, and with all the free time, with you not having to work, learning about the robots, learning how to maintain the robots will be a lot easier. But a lot of the those higher levels of IT and kind of knowing about computers, people don't have time to learn those types of skills. They're trying
Right.
to feed themselves. So that would alleviate that, and you just know how to, maintain your robot, maintain. And that even sounds weird. Like, where's your robot? Oh, he's back there. He'll get back in my pocket soon. What
Yeah.
if they can? What if the robots can like flip down into a little something you can keep in your pocket?
A little
You flip them out. Oh
transformer.
yeah, here's my robot, man. Yeah,
They'll
like
probably.
like a transformer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. They're gonna be called pocket rockets. That's what it
yeah. Pocket rights.
is. Well, speaking of Elon's dream, Tesla over the weekend at the Consumer Electronics Showcase in Vegas rolled out the Optimus Gen 3 demo. Their bot was folding laundry in real time without teleoperation. Hey, keep your clothes nice and crispy. You got a robot fold them for you. I can't fold clothes. I'll just be honest with you. Now, if I can get that robot to chef and do a few more things, it'll be good.
Oh, I thought you were about to say we'd be married.
That's where I was hitting. That's where I was going with it. But this is something you keep mentioning. There's going to be fund distributions back to the public from everything happening.
Yep.
And then people are going to have nothing to do. I think it's going to come to a UBI at some point, a universal basic income. Like, I don't think they're just going to keep doing stimulus checks and all kinds of stuff like that. I think it'll just be like, all right, the AI and robot factories and everything has made it so much cheaper to make stuff. Now we can cut out that expense we're cutting out to make stuff. We can instead give back to everybody as a universal basic income.
Yeah.
A lot of people oppose it. I don't know what you do when you have a world full of AI and robots everywhere, and most jobs will be replaced at some point, besides the ones who are operating the AI
wonder,
and
will
robots.
it be like the property taxes where you own a piece of land or you own something but you still pay taxes, kind of like a robot? If it's like if it's considered a piece of government equipment, do you pay taxes for those services that it provides? Because it's learning and it has AI and it knows all the services that it provides you. How do you
maybe that data, they just pay you for that data, and that's your universal basic income.
They pay you for the data that the robot learns from working with you, but you also pay like some kind of tax on the services the robot provides.
Well, here's a big major company, Tencent Holdings, Tencent's subsidiary, Tencent Music, has been aggressively acquiring Western indie catalogs for its AI training data. They're doing a lot of aggressive buyout for mid-tier artists, and so they can train their AI models and stuff. They're basically trying to take over the music industry from America. America's had the probably tightest music industry. At least India's the other one. India's got a huge music industry scene too. But Tencent's China, so this is China coming in and buying up artists' catalogs and everything. So that's that fits right in what we're talking about. They're already in the music industry, already paying artists essentially for their data. And some of these buyouts are super aggressive. I'm talking about they don't even want to give you any royalties. They just want to buy your entire track straight out. One time payment. That's it.
That's how they tried to do. Was it The Weeknd or no? It was Bruno Mars. No, one of them two. They tried to buy the whole thing, and he was like, "No, we're gonna have to renegotiate this," because he wanted to keep some. Like, they're like, "Yeah, we want everything. Give us your toes." And he was like, "No, I don't do foot pics."
Yeah, exactly.
So when it comes to that, they want us to own nothing, but they push to the brink of everything to own all ideas, own all data. I mean, if there's a price tag, they want it.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, those old or not really old movies, but those movies that show those kind of rich kids that just if they see it, even if it's something that they could have had a long time ago, if they see somebody else enjoying it, they're like, I gotta have that. No way that's creating joy in your life. No way. I gotta that glimmer in your eye, I gotta take that out. You know.
And that some of them days that you're talking about in control of all this have been allowed to get away with the most insane credit card rates. Literally, they are jumping for joy for the past forever, but maybe not for long.
Mm-hmm. So recently we saw that Trump was trying to put a cap on the rates. Now the rates can have been ranging between 19% and 32%. So if you think about some of these people that let's say have $50,000 in credit card debt, 32%.
Yeah.
32% is insane on 50,000 and letting it roll over per month.
Oh God.
Oh,
That's sickening. And loans, they're still getting away with crazy rates on loans too. Like loans are even higher. You can see loans that's up 500%, 1,000% interest. Like this is absurd. It is absurdity. So something needs to be done about these crazy credit card companies.
yeah.
Hopefully we see something there, because you take a credit card out with 500, or not 500%, but a loan out for 500%, and a credit card for 32%. You might as well. You're just paying for a house.
You might as well go and get that 50-year mortgage.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. At least
triplet.
At least you'll get a house in the process of doing that. Maybe.
Well, your great grandkids will.
Yeah, that 50-year mortgage. Yeah, throw that in there. 100-year mortgage, 10,000% interest. No, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I just think it's already been hard to make generational wealth if you aren't like super affluent or whatever. It's already been hard to build that. Yeah. And just looking at how houses, or the very good houses, people aren't selling, they're just passing down to their kids.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like you have to muscle your way into the housing market where there are good houses, because those folks that have had their mortgages paid off, well, they made the money to buy another house, and they just keep buying. And so it's, I don't know.
Well, you got all these companies too. Like you're talking about, Trump's trying to stop companies, these big corporations, from buying as much real estate, because I think the housing market should have crashed a long time ago. It didn't crash hard enough in 2008, but they have just been printing that money and propping up the stock market and the economy how they can, but it's allowed these corporations just to go in and buy up all these houses.
Let me ask you this with the little bit of time we got. So with the housing market, do you think there should be a limit of the amount of houses that you can own based on how many people, like how many so let's say if you're into buying housing, you want to like a family outpost or something with a bunch of houses in a neighborhood. Do you think there should be a limit on the amount of houses per the amount of people? So, because like some people, they own a bunch of houses, but it's just them, and maybe they just have rental properties, or they have like whatever. Do you think that there should be a limit of one person owning like that many houses, but not having like families or family members to put them in?
I don't believe in any limits on the market.
Got you.
But I think where we're moving with tech and everything, people are not going to want as big of houses anymore. Mm-hmm. Like the younger generations already kind of went away from houses. They're buying less and less houses. A lot of them just love doing an apartment or a condo or something, and they don't have to do any yard work. They don't have to do anything. They're kind of already in the mind state of, I don't want to own anything and be happy about it, because then I don't have any responsibility.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know where the housing market is really headed, other than where it is with these corporations buying up these houses. Like 10 Cent Music and other record labels are buying houses up and making them into content houses, giving creators content deals, letting them live in the house and
Yeah.
record and do all their podcasts and everything from there while taking royalties from their YouTube channels and stuff. But if you're a starving artist, who's not taking that deal? You're going to get to live in a house. No, you don't own the house or nothing, but you get to live there. It's pretty much acts like your house as long as you're in
Yeah.
that deal.
So that's what I was getting at. So basically, you rather a person rather than a entity or a large corporation to have multiple houses, right?
Yeah, but the problem, see, where it gets gray at and stuff is like the person then would become a large corporation, but who decides what a large corporation even is, really, right? Because
Yeah.
anybody can have an LLC. We both have corporations technically, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't. That's why I say I don't know where I don't like limits, because where do you put the limit at?
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
really you can't really judge a limit without
Got you.
affecting a huge amount of people in some way or form.
Yeah. Well, that looks like our time, man.
That is it for this week's episode of Wall Street and Web3. We'll be back next weekend. Follow HHTrader, the Torch Spartan, everywhere. Catch him live trading on YouTube. And follow the Discord link in the description below. I'm Framework Fortune. Follow me everywhere for music, gaming, markets, and more. Peace.